What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of SimCity. Today we will be doing our goal from the last episode, and that's to get more residents into the city. That was given to us by the town hall. But to start the episode, we're going to destroy every single one of these abandoned buildings, and there's about 20 odd of them. And it's pretty much all the buildings in that commercial zone that we've made, built, destroyed, built, destroyed, built again, and now we're destroying it again. It just doesn't seem to be taking, and that's probably because we have a lot of commercial in this city, which understandably the residential demand is high and there's no commercial demand, and there's a lot of commercial buildings. But obviously we need people to expand, and they're obviously not going to expand if there's no real places for them to live. Okay, so what I'm doing here with parks is, okay, I'm destroying a few houses, but as you can see they are kind of expanding, so it means they are going to turn into maybe small flats, so the people's houses have destroyed, they can move into these expanded buildings. It is getting rid of the negative area of influence around the industrial zone, which is good, but on the bad side it's giving us some high wealth residential, because it's sort of making the area better, which is a bit negative, but hey. So as you can see there, I have placed a gambling house, and we're going to max it out, putting some cheap rooms and some nice rooms in there, so turn it into a little mini hotel, as well as some slots and maybe the lounge, because I've put it in the very high wealth corner. And this is because obviously trying to get the rich people to spend the money, and then when I put the taxes down, the rich people are going to obviously spend money and the poor people are going to save money. Yeah, helping the community. So what I'm trying to do here might not work, but hey. And something that this is missing, this whole city is missing, is some churches or places of worship. So I've placed a church, and I'm going to place a modern temple, and that's just going to obviously help the city's resources, really. Okay, so that guy wanted to hold a party. It's not happening. Something I did want to add was either an amphitheatre, an expo centre, or a stadium. Problem is, where am I going to put these? I can put the expo centre in that corner. That little square of commercial, but I lose commercial. But I, don't mind doing that. That's the only place it's really gonna fit, because I really want to keep that top bit where the wind farm is exclusive for the wind farm. There's people complaining at the town hall. They want the taxes to be lowered. No, they're not gonna get lowered yet. We're still doing some expanding. While kind of on the subject of expanding and on the subject of the wind farm, we're in deficit, so that means we need to expand said deficit. And to do that, obviously we've got to expand the wind farm. And yeah, I'm going to try and max this out and try and get as many of these windmills in, as many large windmills, or wind turbines, should I say, as is possible in this little area. And I know we've not got much, but if we can cram them all in, we should be able to get as much power as possible out of this. And it's better to just, we've got the money, so we may as well just expand it as much as we can now, because it'll, one, save us keep coming back to it and doing the job later, and two, we have enough power to power the city while we're expanding it. And again, we don't need to keep coming back to the power plant to obviously keep expanding it. And the buildings near it are expanding a little bit. They are kind of getting destroyed as well while I'm placing some of these windmills, but you know, you do what you do, really. you lose some to make some, really. So so as you can see, we're in 30.3 megawatts of excess. That's a lot of excess, but we've still got nearly 10 of these wind turbines to place. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to place them all. I'm going to destroy all these buildings on this road in the process, but again, we get the excess power we need when we start building the bigger stuff that actually takes and drains the power. And you know, smaller buildings can now build on this road, so we are kind of helping out the low wealth residents. They can just put some low wealth sort of small houses just next to the wind farm, and that is now at its limit. Okay, all the houses have been destroyed, but you know, like I said, people can still build there. It is still registered for residential, and people probably will eventually start building there again. Now, going back to the gambling house, the reason why I placed it not only is to, you know, make money, but that will make us a load of money. As you can see, it's making a loss, but it will eventually make us quite a bit of money, and that means we can lower the taxes. But for it to make money and thrive, we need to have a lot of obviously people around. So what I've done there is I've destroyed the lounge and the slots. I'm going to lower the taxes to 12%, which is originally what they were. We're only now making 1,000 an hour. We've lost about 8,000 an hour just by lowering the taxes to a more reasonable rate. But what it means is that we can probably start making money off that gambling house and then slowly build it up to where it originally was. What I'm going to do is take away some of this commercial. Hooray, I'm getting rid of some commercial. I'm going to place some residential down, because obviously we need residents because they're the ones that are going to give us the money, and to do that we need to zone residential, because nothing's going to get built on the roads without zoning. And look at that, straight away I've zoned some residential there, and already we have something quite, I wouldn't say quite big, but big in terms of a residential building right next to the gambling house. And there's another one building just on that junction where the gambling house is, and that's useful to us. We kind of need those buildings, plus it's a high wealth area, so they're gonna be kind of big expansive buildings in that area of the city anyway, because of all the parks that are there, because of the high wealth and high land value that area has. So we have quite a bit of money now, so again, that's the reason why I've lowered taxes, is we can afford it, and we can now place some things in and do some little things as well. I'm gonna put a trade depot down, or hope to, here, maybe. Do we need one in the industrial area? It could make us money, but where's it gonna fit is the question. That destroys houses. Don't really want to destroy houses, but you know, we kind of need to. So let's put a trade depot in, and yeah, there you go. Just expand it as we can, as much as we can, and then obviously now we'll be making money off exports. So this trade depot, like I said, we'll set it to export, or should we just use locally? Okay, so everything in the trade depot, we're not going to export. We can export it if we need to, but we'll just use what is stored in there locally for now, because there's no other cities or land that we've claimed, so we may as well just use it locally, unless of course we do decide to build another city later on in the series. Then we can always export it. And you know what? We don't actually need the trade depot, because if we're just using it locally, that's essentially what we're doing anyway. We haven't got a lot of industry, so it'll never be full, and really it's kind of a waste of money. So that was a little bit pointless me building it. So destroying a bit more commercial, building some more residential. We do want to hit that residential, I wouldn't say demand, but sort of goal that the town hall has set us. Abandoned buildings don't help, but they are commercial ones, so it doesn't really matter. We're getting rid of some commercial stuff anyway. Destroy the buildings and rezone into residential, and all of this near the train station could be residential. The trains doesn't fit. There's a bus stop there that's quite obviously, well, that's good because we've got buses in the city. You know what, I'll deal with that later. We will place a park and ride system because again it's going to relieve some of the traffic. We don't have any traffic problems, but it's best to future proof in case we ever do have some traffic problems. We've got a school, so we'll need a library, so I'll place that right next to the school because it's easy access for everyone to get what they need from there if they're in the school. Streetcars. Do we actually need streetcars? Because at the minute we don't have a lot of residents. If we look on our ore map, we don't have any ore, so there's no point us sort of building any of that, like drilling and mining stuff, because we don't have any in the city, so it'll just be a waste of time. We're getting a lot of tourism to a few little buildings scattered around the city, but we are getting a lot of tourism to the gambling house, which is essentially what it's been built for. Okay, let's see what else we can build. We've not been approved to build a train station yet. We're slowly creeping up on the residents, so we still need more of those. Maybe put some extra roads in. Will that help? Might not help by much. Let's see. Let's put some residents there and some along there. We might not get many in there, but you know, we may as well because we need to just cram in as many residents as we can right now. That's going to be a skewed road, I think, but again, we can put some residents in here and here, maybe, or maybe just one side of the road, because obviously we need a place for the town hall to expand. So again, that's a bad idea, because obviously the town hall has its little add-ons that obviously when we get more things approved, then obviously we need to expand the town hall, and to do that we need the space to do it. So we shall get rid of the abandoned buildings while we've got the bulldozer out. So get rid of the abandoned buildings. We are slowly expanding. This part has mainly been a clean-up, really, of the entire city, in a hope to help with future expansions, putting little things here and there. And we've seen little bits of expansion, but not a lot of expansion. And we are trying to build the city to make more residents, and to do that we have to add in these little roads here and there, and it does give us, because we've got quite wide gaps in between each of these squares, then putting a road in, it does help add some more residential areas, and they are filling up, so we may as well use them. I'm going to put residential all along the coastline there. They're going to probably fill up pretty quickly. We probably could go a little bit more closer to the coastline on that area. There you can see in region view, we have a chance to maybe claim another city, but that might be a thing for another time. we have the money to, and then just use that as basically a money making city and send the money over to the main city. I don't know, maybe that's a plan for another time. I considered it earlier and maybe should have put the expo centre there. It is the only place for it. It does get rid of the commercial anyway, but obviously if we bring tourism in, maybe that'll help move residents in, or at least give some of the commercial buildings a bit more money through tourism. But how do they get in the city? The only way in is through the highways. The dump is doing pretty good, so we probably don't need as much in the dump because there's a complete garbage bay that isn't being used. So there's no point having it. Save a bit of money there. And okay, we've lowered taxes and we are getting more money in. When we lowered taxes it was at 1,000 and odd simoleons positive, and now it's 5,000 and odd simoleons positive. So it shows that we are getting more money in. We're going to put more parks in because we've got some negative area of influence maybe, but that's for another part. So I shall see you in the next part where we carry on the cleanup. Bye.